noticed that you're having this reoccurring message pop up? Whether it is something in your thoughts or something that you see on Facebook or maybe a book that was recommended to you, and you keep seeing these reoccurring themes and you wonder, am I supposed to do something with this? What I've noticed that through this week of pouring into our group over at Enjoy Your Life More on Facebook is that there's this reoccurring theme that is popping up, and I can't wait to show you what this has really allowed me to kind of increase my mindfulness as to what I need to do and to listen in, to embrace my imagination, to trust my intuition, and to ultimately pivot to the next step. I have some big news for you for this episode, and I'm so excited to share it with you. Let's go. Welcome back to My Mother's Daughter podcast, where we choose to focus on the controllables, jump off the hamster wheel of grief, and take steps to honoring our loved ones by living a life filled with gratitude, joy, and abundance. It's time to get stubborn about what we want and choose to lean into who we were meant to be, while drinking too much caffeine, owning way more workout pants than we'd like to admit, and dreading that nightly dinner talk almost as much as waking up early. You feel me, sister? I'm Angel McElhaney, motherless daughter, positive psychology junkie, and not so master juggler of my crazy crew, and I believe that you can heal and find happiness after loss. So grab that coffee, put down that to-do list, and let's get to work. One day at a time, together. Let's get started with today's show. Welcome back to another episode. Today I'm really excited to share with you. I feel like it's some really like revelations of what I have come to find out what I need to do next for my next pivot. And sometimes this makes me feel like such a scatterbrain or something that as if someone that can't finish something, like maybe I have all these windows popping up in my brain and it's like, Angel, just focus. And the thing of it is you were given this gift of ideas and you were given this, I feel like almost a drive to run with certain things, and you have to listen to them. And so in this episode, we are going to teach you how to listen to the whispers, to get into action, and to know how to trust yourself. And then I keep seeing this pop up everywhere, so I feel like it is just meant for me to get it out there. So in this week, we have really done these modules that go along with my self-discovery workbook. And I noticed a reoccurring theme, and it really is self-awareness, self-worth, how we self-sabotage, how we increase self-control, and ultimately self-talk. And so there's also this reoccurring theme that I keep seeing that is about being versus doing. And so this week I've really tried to be mindful of that and tried to take away social media this weekend, which if you could click on your phone right now, go ahead, do it. You do not have to share what it is. And go to that screen where you can kind of check how much screen time you have been on Facebook. That will blow your mind. And yes, it's not all Facebook, but still, I feel like if we can increase our awareness, look at our baseline as to what we're feeling now and how we can improve, I feel like this is going to be huge. And so I've really worked on this week, taking the things that I think, the limiting beliefs I have around the reasons I can't do the thing that I need to do, and reshaping that and ultimately asking for help when I need it, waking up earlier, even though I'm not, quote unquote, a morning person, and just getting stubborn about not being, or really it's not even stubbornness so much as not being okay with things just being okay. I think somewhere along the line, we need to realize that you're a role model for your kids. And instead of just shrinking to fit into a life that is that you should be grateful for, which I am grateful for, that it's okay to want more. And it's okay to, I feel like, do that next right step to do what you are meant to do to get it out in the world. And so this all falls onto a week. I have been taking a couple weeks of really thinking about what I want to do with this podcast and who I need to serve and how I need to take all of the things, all the lessons that my mom has given me, and that all of the things that this is May, guys. So May is, if you don't know, it's exceptionally hard for me. We have all of the dates that have to do with my mom all rolled up into one month with a big bow. Okay, we got her birthday, her anniversary, the day she passed away, we have Mother's Day, like all the things are in May. And so it's not lost to me that in this month where I have to almost like, I'm made to feel through so much, that this has been on my heart to do this pivot. And so this pivot is that we are going to be rebranding, and by we, I mean me, rebranding this show to serve those multi-passionate mompreneurs. And part of that is to embrace who you are. And that's doing it through the lens of knowing what it is that makes you think, act, and really even interact with the world in the way that you do it. And then using that to find out what it is you're meant to do in the world. And so I'm hoping that this takes my mother's daughter principles of focusing on the controllables, getting stubborn about what you want, and puts this into action. And so my goal for this is to help you to kind of find your calling and find what the thing is that's whispering to you, and then help you be that support, be that really guidance and encouragement. I always say that my mom was my cheerleader, and I miss that. And so I am building a community. It will be called MULTIPASSIONATE MOMPRENEUR COLLECTIVE, and we are going to be there to build each other up. Ultimately, I envision retreats. I envision a place to rest for our squirrel minds and really just to embrace our imagination and find the courage to act and to trust our intuition and to listen to the whispers and to do the things. I'm really excited about it. And there is this part of like sadness that I feel like of letting go the name my mother's daughter. And I know that I feel like because this is in May and because I am hearing all these things about how I need to embrace the stillness and increase the mindfulness and to be versus do in these last couple weeks, that this is the right choice. So, and then wouldn't you know that in addition to our group and me just seeing all of these different things that have to do with mindfulness and daily practices so that you can really, get more in tune with slowing down and listening to yourself, like be still, angel, be still. That's not lost on me that I need to realize, I'm realizing that I need to feel through the pain versus in the past, I have always distracted, kind of faked it till I made it. And that served its purpose, but it's also not like I need to feel through these things. And I'm realizing that in order to do that, I need people. And I'm keep just seeing this over and over, and I have to act on it. So I hope that you guys will support my switch, my pivot, as I go to just that next right step to serve you in a bigger way that is, I feel like, accepting who you are and what you are meant to do and taking all of those things that I know are in you to share with the world and giving you that confidence and that support, that empowerment that you need to just I want you to be happier, and I also want you to feel through the things that are holding you back in a way that we will end up maybe being a little broken at first, but then ultimately rise back up so that we can do some amazing things in the world. So if you or at all would like to check that out, you can go over to Facebook and then put in Multi-Passionate Mompreneur. We're just building it up because this is a very recent pivot that I'm doing, but I'm really excited about it. And if there is someone that you know that could benefit from this, definitely share with them. If you haven't already, hop over to iTunes, leave me a review. I just wanted to end with sharing a couple takeaways that I had from reading a recent book. And so I mentioned before how I keep seeing all these reoccurring themes. Well, one of them was that I had an Audible credit, and there was a book called Untamed by Glennon Doyle. And so I got it, and it was I got it basically as a in-between of like a self-help book and a book for fun, because I knew that it wasn't giving me necessarily like tactical strategy and tips for online marketing or anything like that, but it also wasn't just some fiction story that was just for fun. I feel like it was a middle ground. It is actually a memoir, and the underlying theme was definitely one of embracing who you are, trusting yourself. The author starts out with this story that I can relate with so much. So she actually goes to a local zoo and they have the cheetah run. Now, I live just north of Cincinnati, and we actually have the same cheetah run thing. And what they do is, everyone packs in there, and then they introduce this dog, and the dog actually grows up with the cheetah, and they basically they go through this series of actions to where ultimately the cheetah runs for like a pink bunny in the story. But basically, though, she starts off with this idea of the zoo and the metaphor of breaking free from their cages and just seeing this wild animal and how she's had to shrink back and really be tamed. And so it really got me thinking, especially with all the changes that I am making. And she even says, one of my favorite quotes from the book is what the world needs is more women who have quit fearing themselves and start trusting themselves. And so I think I just wonder, like, what could happen if we did do that? Like, what could really happen if you step out through the ideas and you get into action with some support and with some clarity, and that you were able to just run with, like a cheetah, run with those. So a few takeaways really were that it was about feeling through your emotions, which again, I've mentioned, I already keep seeing all these things over and over, being a role model for your kids instead of just shrinking back into a box, like really staying true to yourself and realizing that it is not selfish. It is not selfish to do self-care, to pour into yourself. The world needs that. Your kids need that. They need to see that what you are doing to make these changes, it's going to be so critical for when they are there, when they feel stuck or when they feel like they need to do something, but they can't. Like, we want them to just know that it's not wrong to focus on themselves, and that reoccurring theme in the Enjoy Your Life More challenge that we've done over these last couple weeks, and that theme of self is so crucial. And so whenever you are taking time for yourself and maybe that mom guilt creeps up, or maybe you feel like this is something that's selfish, I want you to pause and think about, what do you want, like, your daughter or your son to do in that case? Like, flip it that way, because we know that you don't want your kids to settle. So why are you? And so I just want to leave you with a couple tactical tips for you to take. The first one is to brain dump. I think it's really important for you to just think about all the sections of your life, like all of these balls we're juggling in the air, and just do, like, you could even set a timer and just get it all out. Like, try not to edit it, and just try to think about, like, all the things that you wanted to do when you were 7, all the things you used to love to do, but you don't make time to do, all the people that you want to see, but you can't seem to, like, have the energy or the follow through to just get together. I know right now we're in a quarantine, but you know what I mean? Like, the effort. Maybe you want to clean out the garage, but you, like, just can't even fathom, like, the job that's going to be, because you're exhausted and you're tired, and you have maybe some limiting beliefs about not being focused, that maybe you feel like a scatterbrained, you know? So maybe you can take all these things, get them down, and then learn to kind of edit and have the discernment and the skills to be able to say, no, I'm not doing this. I'm going to prioritize this. And I think that is really where this focus and shift is going to take us, because I do think that we have everything in us that we need to be successful and to ultimately give. And I know I keep saying ultimately, but to give it to the world, because you do have something that the world needs. And I really strongly believe it. I know that a lot of people in my family are hurting right now for May. And so I just want to take a second to know that I see you, and I see you hurting, and I know that it is hard, but you can do the hard things, and I know it, I believe it, and I can't wait to see what all that you do in the world. And so yeah, next episode you will see it will say the Multi-Passionate Mompreneur. And so I hoped that you will be there, and I hope to see you over in the Facebook group. All right, wishing you joy and abundance, Angel. Hey mama, if you'd like to have some help figuring out your Enneagram, or maybe where your Enneagram number goes in stress, or when you're happy, healthy, and secure, head on over to Instagram at angel.mcilhaney and shoot me a DM, and I can help you figure it out. Or you can check out my free Enneagram Energy Guide located in the show notes. Oh, and one more thing. If you found value in today's show, I would love for you to hop on over to iTunes and leave me a review. It really is great hearing what you're taking away from the show. And also, I would love to invite you to our free Enjoy Your Life More challenge over on Facebook. It really is a great community filled with so much positivity and light, and I can't wait to meet you over there.